Welcome to my new video. In my videos, you will not only find famous quotes and proverbs, but I will also explain their meaning. Because I wish that even after death, I can convey the explanation of these famous sayings to everyone. Please subscribe my channel to take this initiative of mine one step further. Without further delay, let the video begin. A fool is known by his speech, and a wise man by silence. This quote by Pythagoras means that a wise person tends to speak thoughtfully, choosing their words carefully and only speaking when necessary. In other words, a person's wisdom can be gauged by their ability to remain silent and only speak when they have something valuable to contribute to the conversation. There is geometry in the humming of the strings. There is music in the spacing of the spheres. According to Pythagoras, the harmony of musical intervals can be expressed as simple ratios of numbers, and these ratios can also be found in the proportions of geometric shapes. Pythagoras believed that the length and tension of the strings determined the pitch of the notes they produced, and that the relationships between the lengths of the strings could be expressed as ratios of whole numbers. Pythagoras believed that the movements of the heavenly bodies were also governed by mathematical laws, and that the distances between them were related to the ratios of simple numbers. In summary, the quote suggests that there is a deep relationship between music and mathematics, and that the principles that govern the harmony of music also apply to the movements of the heavens. As long as man continues to be the ruthless destroyer of lower living beings, he will never know health or peace. This quote by Pythagoras suggests that there is a connection between the treatment of animals and the well-being of humans. Pythagoras believed that if humans continue to harm and destroy other living beings, such as animals, they will never experience true health or peace. Indeed, he who sows the seed of murder and pain cannot reap joy and love. This quote by Pythagoras means that any action or behavior that involves causing harm or pain to others will eventually lead to negative consequences for the person who engages in such behavior. If we plant seeds of kindness and compassion, we can expect to reap positive outcomes in our lives. Therefore, the quote reminds us that we should always strive to act with kindness and empathy towards others, as these actions are more likely to lead to positive outcomes in our lives. Be silent, or let thy words be worth more than silence. This quote by Pythagoras suggests that sometimes it is better to remain silent than to speak, but when we do speak, our words should be valuable and meaningful. The first part of the quote, "be silent," implies that sometimes it is better to refrain from speaking. This encourages us to be thoughtful about what we say, and to make sure that our words are meaningful and add value to the conversation. Do not say a little in many words, but a great deal in few. This quote by Pythagoras means that it is better to communicate a lot of information clearly and succinctly, using few words, rather than using many words to express a simple or vague idea. In other words, it is important to be concise and precise in one's communication, and to avoid using unnecessary words or filler phrases. The oldest, shortest words, yes and no, are those which require the most thought. In this quote, he suggests that the seemingly simple words, yes and no, actually require a great deal of thought before they can be used effectively. To say yes or no to a question, one must first understand the question itself and the context in which it is being asked. This requires critical thinking and analysis, as well as an understanding of the implications of one's answer. Furthermore, saying yes or no can also have significant social and interpersonal implications. The words yes and no may be short and simple, but they carry significant weight and require careful consideration before they can be used effectively. Educate the children, and it won't be necessary to punish the men. This quote highlights the importance of education as a tool for shaping the future generation and preventing negative outcomes in society. It suggests that investing in education can have a positive impact on the well-being of individuals and the community as a whole by reducing the need for punishment and promoting a more harmonious society. Do not go to bed until you have gone over the day 3 times in your mind. What wrong did I do? What good did I accomplish? What did I forget to do? The quote by Pythagoras suggests that, before going to bed, one should reflect on their day by asking 3 questions. What wrong did I do? The purpose of this reflection is to gain a better understanding of oneself, one's actions, and how they may affect others. Overall, Pythagoras' quote emphasizes the importance of self-reflection and self-improvement. By regularly reflecting on our actions and behavior, we can become more aware of ourselves and strive to be better individuals. Rest satisfied with doing well and leave others to talk of you as they please. The quote by Pythagoras suggests that one should focus on doing good and virtuous deeds without worrying too much about what others think or say about them. It implies that we should not be overly concerned with other people's opinions or criticisms, but instead concentrate on living a life guided by principles and doing our best. In essence, Pythagoras is urging us to prioritize our actions and moral character over external validation or recognition from others. Let no one persuade you, by word or deed, to do or say whatever is not best for you. The quote by Pythagoras suggests that one should not be easily influenced by others to act or speak in a way that is not in their best interest. Pythagoras is urging us to be true to ourselves and not let others dictate our actions or decisions. Don't try to cover your mistakes with false words. Rather, correct your mistakes with examination. This quote by Pythagoras advises against trying to hide or deny one's mistakes with empty words or excuses. In other words, Pythagoras is urging us to take responsibility for our actions and not to make excuses for our mistakes. If you have a wounded heart, touch it as little as you would an injured eye. There are only 2 remedies for the suffering of the soul: hope and patience. This quote from Pythagoras advises people to be gentle with their wounded hearts, comparing them to injured eyes that require delicate handling. Just as we would not want to touch an injured eye too much or too harshly, Pythagoras suggests that we should avoid dwelling on our emotional wounds too much or subjecting them to unnecessary stress. The quote goes on to offer 2 potential remedies for the pain of a wounded heart: hope and patience. Learn silence. With the quiet serenity of a meditative mind, listen, absorb, transcribe, and transform. Furthermore, the act of transcribing and transforming what we have learned is key to making it our own and integrating it into our understanding of the world. By taking the time to reflect on what we have learned and putting it into practice, we can deepen our understanding and wisdom. Choose rather to be strong of soul than strong of body. This quote by Pythagoras suggests that it is more important to develop inner strength than physical strength. In contrast, being strong of body refers to physical strength and fitness, which are important for overall health and well-being. but may not always be sufficient to overcome the obstacles and challenges of life. Overall, Pythagoras' quote suggests that developing inner strength and fortitude is more important than focusing solely on physical strength, as it is the former that can help us overcome adversity and achieve our goals in life. There is nothing so easy, but that it becomes difficult when you do it reluctantly. This quote by Pythagoras means that even the easiest task can become difficult if you approach it with reluctance or unwillingness. On the other hand, if you approach the same task with reluctance and negativity, it can become much more difficult to complete. Strength of mind rests in sobriety, for this keeps your reason unclouded by passion. When a person is sober, their thinking is not clouded by the influence of drugs or alcohol, and they can make decisions based on reason and logic rather than emotions. Therefore, according to Pythagoras, strength of mind and reason are closely linked to sobriety. A man is never as big as when he is on his knees to help a child. This quote by Pythagoras suggests that a person's greatness or true worth is measured by their willingness to help a child in need. When someone is on their knees to help a child, they are showing humility and compassion, and putting the needs of the child above their own. Salt is born of the purest parents, the sun and the sea. This quote by Pythagoras suggests that salt, which is an essential ingredient in our daily lives, has its origins in two of the purest elements of nature, the sun and the sea. Pythagoras' quote can be interpreted as a metaphor for the purity and simplicity of nature's processes. Just as the sun and the sea work together to create salt, so too do the elements of nature work together to sustain life on earth. Most men and women, by birth or nature, lack the means to advance in wealth or power, but all have the ability to advance in knowledge. This quote by Pythagoras emphasizes that, while many people may lack the resources or circumstances to achieve wealth or power, everyone has the potential to advance their knowledge. It suggests that education and learning are powerful tools that can be used to achieve personal growth and success, regardless of one's social or economic background. Overall, the quote highlights the importance of education and the potential that exists within every individual to pursue knowledge and personal growth, regardless of their circumstances. The quote by Pythagoras, "Anger begins in folly and ends in repentance," suggests that anger arises from foolishness or a lack of wisdom and often leads to regret or remorse. In other words, when we react to a situation with anger, it is often due to our own ignorance, misunderstanding, or inability to control our emotions. The quote, "Know thyself and thou wilt know the universe," by Pythagoras suggests that self-awareness and understanding of one's own nature, strengths, weaknesses, and beliefs are essential to understanding the universe and the world around us. By exploring our own thoughts, feelings, and motivations, we can gain a deeper understanding of the world and the people around us. Through self-reflection, we can develop a sense of empathy and compassion, which can help us to better understand and connect with others. Self-knowledge is the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe, and it is only by exploring the depths of our own being that we can hope to gain a deeper insight into the nature of reality. Friends are as companions on a journey, who ought to aid each other to persevere in the road to a happier life. According to Pythagoras, friends are not just people you spend time with or have fun with, but rather companions on the journey of life, who help each other persevere towards a happier life. In either case, the quote suggests that Having friends who support and encourage each other is essential for achieving a happy and fulfilling life. Overall, Pythagoras' quote highlights the importance of having true friends who share the journey of life and help each other to persevere towards a happier life. We ought so to behave to one another as to avoid making enemies of our friends, and at the same time, to make friends of our enemies. Essentially, the quote implies that we should treat everyone with kindness and respect, regardless of whether they are our friends or enemies. He believes that by being respectful and compassionate towards everyone, we can foster positive relationships and minimize conflicts, both personally and on a larger scale. No one is free who has not obtained the empire of himself. No man is free who cannot command himself. This quote by Pythagoras emphasizes the importance of self-control and self-mastery in achieving true freedom. According to Pythagoras, the ability to command oneself is the key to personal freedom. Therefore, Pythagoras suggests that the path to true freedom lies in mastering oneself, rather than seeking external sources of power or control. In anger we should refrain both from speech and action. The quote by Pythagoras means that when we are angry, it is best to avoid saying or doing anything in response. Anger is an intense emotion that can cloud our judgment, and our words or actions in the heat of the moment can often do more harm than good. Above all things, respect yourself. The quote by Pythagoras means that self-respect is the most important thing in life. This quote also suggests that, if we do not respect ourselves, we may find it difficult to respect others, or to earn their respect. By valuing ourselves, we are better equipped to navigate the challenges of life, and to maintain healthy relationships with others. Above the cloud with its shadow is the star with its light. The first level is represented by the cloud with its shadow, which symbolizes the earthly, or material world and its associated difficulties and challenges. The second level is represented by the star with its light, which symbolizes the spiritual or transcendent world, and its associated peace, clarity, and enlightenment. By focusing on this higher reality and connecting with it, we can transcend the difficulties of the material world, and find peace and enlightenment. A blow from your friend is better than a kiss from your enemy. The quote by Pythagoras means that it is better to receive criticism or correction from a friend, even if it hurts, than to receive flattery or praise from an enemy that could potentially harm you in the long run. This quote suggests that honest feedback from a friend is more valuable than false praise from an enemy. The wise man should be prepared for everything that does not lie within his control. This quote by Pythagoras means that a wise person should be ready and equipped to face any situation that may arise, regardless of whether they can control it or not. In other words, we should accept the things that are out of our control and focus on taking responsibility for our own actions and reactions in any situation. Truth is so great a perfection that if God would render himself visible to men, he would choose light for his body and truth for his soul. It suggests that truth is not only a powerful force in itself, but also intimately connected to the divine. In essence, Pythagoras is saying that truth is a divine quality, and those who seek it are pursuing something that is both essential and valuable in their lives. The quote emphasizes the importance of truth-seeking as a path to enlightenment and understanding, and encourages us to value and prioritize this pursuit above all else. I hope you enjoy the Pythagoras quotes I have provided in order to be exhaustive source and knowledge A lot of time and effort was put into them. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment.